In February 1997, a remote weather station operator in northern Alaska reported something impossible: a radio transmission. Not unusual in itself, except for one detail. The signal wasn't coming from any known frequency. It didn't match military bands. It didn't match civilian channels. And it didn't belong to any registered broadcast system. But what truly disturbed investigators was what the voice was saying. It was repeating coordinates, over and over. Coordinates that pointed to a location deep in the Alaskan wilderness. A place where no station, no building, and no human presence should exist. The operator logged the transmission, tried to respond, and then the voice said his name. 3 days later, he vanished, but the signal never stopped. Station K-17 sat alone in one of the most unforgiving regions of northern Alaska. Surrounded by endless snowfields, jagged mountains, and sub-zero winds, it was designed for one purpose: to monitor atmospheric conditions and relay weather data. The nearest settlement was over 120 miles away. Access was limited to air transport, and during winter months, sometimes not even that. The station was manned by a single operator at a time. Weeks of isolation, no direct human contact, only radio communication with Central Command twice a day. In February 1997, that operator was Daniel Reeves, age 34, former Air Force communications specialist, highly experienced, psychologically screened for isolation duty, stable, reliable, by all accounts the perfect candidate, until the signal began. On February 12th at 11:43 p.m., Daniel logged an unusual transmission. His report read, "Unknown signal detected, repeating numerical sequence, not recognized format." At first, it sounded like static, broken, distorted, but after adjusting the receiver, Daniel isolated the signal. A voice emerged, low, monotone, emotionless, repeating 63.781 147.392, 63.781 147.392. Latitude and longitude. Over and over. Daniel attempted to respond. No reply. He tried tracing the signal source. No identifiable origin. It didn't behave like a normal radio wave. There was no directional pattern, no signal decay. It was as if the transmission was coming from everywhere at once. Curious, Daniel entered the coordinates into his system. The result chilled him. The location pointed to a remote valley approximately 18 miles southeast of Station K-17, an area known only in old geological surveys as Sector Echo 9. There were no roads, no structures, no recorded activity, just empty terrain. But when Daniel cross-referenced older data logs, he found something strange. The coordinates had appeared once before, in 1968, logged by another weather station operator. That operator, Thomas Hargrove, also reported hearing an unidentified transmission. He noted similar coordinates and wrote one final entry before disappearing. "The signal knows I'm listening." His body was never found. On February 13th, Daniel reported that the transmission had changed. It was no longer just numbers. Now there were pauses, gaps between repetitions, as if something was adjusting, learning. At 2:16 a.m., Daniel recorded a new entry. "It's not random, it's responding to me." The voice began altering its pattern. The coordinates shortened. Fragments of words emerged, barely audible at first, then clearer, then unmistakable. At 3:02 a.m., Daniel's log captured the moment. The voice stopped repeating numbers and said, "Daniel, come here." Daniel attempted to shut down the receiver. The signal persisted. He disconnected power. The transmission continued, now louder, clearer, inside the room, not through the radio, through the air. His final recorded transmission to Central Command was fragmented but chilling. "It's not coming from the equipment anymore. It's inside the station. I can hear it behind the walls. Central Command attempted to reach him again. No response. At 4:11 a.m., Station K-17 went completely silent. Due to extreme weather conditions, a search team was dispatched 48 hours later. When they arrived, the station was intact. No signs of struggle, no forced entry, no damage. Inside, everything appeared normal, except for one detail. The radio was still on, broadcasting, but now the signal was different. No coordinates, no voice, just a low-frequency hum. Constant, unbroken. Daniel Reeves was gone, his coat remained, his boots remained, but he was nowhere inside the station, and there were no footprints leading away. Investigators discovered Daniel's handwritten journal. The final entries revealed a disturbing progression. It's repeating less now, more silence between signals. The silence feels intentional. I think it's waiting for me to respond differently. I went outside today. The signal got louder. It's not a broadcast, it's a location. I think something is there, and I think it knows I'm coming. The final entry, written shakily, it said my name again, not from the radio, from outside. Against protocol, 2 members of the search team decided to investigate the coordinates. They traveled by snowmobile towards Sector Echo 9. After 3 hours, they reached the valley. What they found was not on any map. A massive depression in the earth, circular, perfectly symmetrical, nearly 200 feet across. At its center, a structure, partially buried, metallic, smooth, unlike anything they had seen before. No seams, no markings, no visible entrance. Yet their radio equipment began reacting violently. Static bursts, signal spikes, and then the same voice, weak at first, then clearer, repeating, "You came back." The search team attempted to retreat, but their equipment malfunctioned. Navigation systems failed. Visibility dropped suddenly. One member reported hearing footsteps behind them. Another claimed the ground beneath them felt hollow. Their final transmission was recorded at 7:42 p.m. "We're not alone out here, the structure. It's not buried, it's coming up." The transmission cut out. Rescue teams later found their snowmobiles abandoned, tracks leading toward the structure, then stopping abruptly. No bodies were ever recovered. The official report labeled the incident as environmental disorientation. Case closed. But in 2009, a satellite anomaly was recorded over the same coordinates. A brief signal spike, lasting exactly 47 seconds, the same duration as Daniel's elevator stop. No, his signal interruption. And within that spike, analysts detected a pattern. Not numbers, not coordinates, but something far more unsettling. A repeating phrase, distorted, fragmented, but still recognizable. "We are still here." So what do you think was transmitting from the Alaskan wilderness? A lost military experiment, an unknown natural phenomenon, or something that was never meant to be found? And if you heard your name coming from the silence, would you answer? Comment your theory below. And if you're ready to uncover signals that were never meant for us, subscribe to the Raven Threads, because every thread leads to mystery.